Today we are going to skip to 5-8 and continue to divide the traditional way using an algorithm. A factory shipped 477 watches in 3 boxes. Each box had the same number of watches. We would like to find out how many watches were in each box. If we look over here, we can see a picture diagram. We are going to start with our largest number, which is 477 watches. And we can see that they are divided equally among 3 boxes. So we want to find out how much will be in each box. So our equation is 477 divided by 3. It's going to equal W, or how many watches are in each box. To use the algorithm that we have been using, we're going to draw our division bar. Inside the bar, we are going to put our dividend, which is 477. On the outside, we are going to put our divisor, which is 3, or how many equal groups we need. On the side, I'm going to write down our steps for dividing. First, we divide, then we multiply, then we subtract, and then we bring it on down. So, we want to find out how many times 3 can go into 4. Well, 3 can go into 4 only once. And 3 times 1 is 3. So now we've divided and we've multiplied. Our next step is to subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. And then we're going to bring down our 7. Next, we have to figure out how many times 3 goes into 17. And 3 goes into 17 5 times. Then we're going to multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. We're going to subtract and bring down our next number, which is a 7. Last, we're going to repeat our steps, and we're going to see how many times does 3 go into 27. And 3 goes into 27 9 times. 3 times 9 is 27, and we would get a difference of 0. So, in each box, we are going to have 159 watches. If you follow these steps and continue your patterns, then dividing using long division really gets a lot easier. Let's do the guided practice together. Number 1. Explain why 25 tens are divided by 5 in the problem above. If we look at the problem up here, they're asking, why do we divide 5 into 25? Well, you cannot divide 5 into 2. Therefore, you need to divide 5 into 25. Number 2. Tori bought some patio bricks and paid $232. If each brick cost $2, how many patio bricks did Tori buy? So we want to find out how many patio bricks did Tori buy. So we need to divide 232 by 2. First step, we're going to divide 2 into 2. So how many times does 2 go into 2? Well, the answer is 1. Then we're going to multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. We subtract and bring down our 3. Next, we divide again. How many times does 2 go into 3? Well, 1. 2 times 1 is 2. We subtract and then bring down our next 2. And last, we want to see how many times 2 goes into 12. Well, our answer is 6. And 2 times 6 is 12, so we have nothing left over. When you divide, make sure that there is a digit above each number in your divisor. So our answer is she bought 116 bricks. All right, now we're going to move on to number 3. In numbers 3 and 4, some of the numbers have been in place for you. Just remember to use your steps of division, where you divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. So let's start with number 3. We want to find out how many times 5, I'm going to highlight this so you can see it, how many times 5 goes into 8. And 5 goes into 8 only one time. Then we're going to multiply. When we multiply, we're just going to multiply 5 times 1. And 5 times 1 is 5. That's already written down for you. Next, we're going to subtract. So we need to subtract 8 minus 5, which is 3. And then we need to bring down our 2. Next, we want to see how many times 5 goes into 32. They already did this one for you, and the answer is 6. And then we're going to multiply. What is 5 times 6? Well, 5 times 6 is 30, so that number goes right here. Then we need to subtract. 32 minus 30 is 2. So we have 16, remainder 2. Now let's do number 4. We cannot divide 7 into 6. So we need to divide 7 into 65. Well, how many times does 7 go into 65? I know that 7 times 8 is 56, but 7 times 9 is 63. And since 65 is greater than 63, we can use 9. So we're going to place our 9 up here. And 7 times 9 is 63, so we need to write that down and then subtract, and we would get 2. Then bring down your 9. So now we want to find out how many times does 7 go into 29. Well, I know that 7 times 4 is 28. So I'm going to multiply 7 times 4 and write down 28. We're going to subtract and get a 1. Then bring down your 9. How many times does 7 go into 19? Well, 7 goes into 19 twice. 7 times 2 is 14. We're going to subtract and get a 5. So we have 942, remainder 5. If your remainder is bigger than your divisor, then you know that your answer is incorrect and you need to divide more. To check this answer, we are going to multiply our dividend, which is, our quotient, which is 942 times our divisor, which is 7. So 7 times 2 is 14, regroup your 1. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 more is 29, regroup your 2. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 2 more is 65, and then we're going to add our remainder, which is 5, and we get a total of 6,599, which is the same as our dividend. If your answer is the same as your dividend, then you got it correct. We are going to do one more problem together. We are going to divide 4,396 into 5 equal groups. We're going to use our steps: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So first we're going to start with our biggest place value, which is our thousands place. And since 5 cannot go into 4, we need to scooch over, and we want to see how many times does 5 go into 43. Well, our answer is 8. And 5 times 8 is 40. Then we're going to subtract and bring down our 9. Now we're going to see how many times does 5 go into 39. Well, I know 5 times 6 is 30, and 5 times 7 is 35. So it can go into it 7 times. 5 times 7 is 35. We're going to subtract and bring down our last digit, which is a 6. Now we want to see how many times 5 goes into 46. Well, 5 can go into 46 9 times. 5 times 9 is 45. We're going to subtract, and we will get a remainder of 1. Our answer is 879, remainder 1. Please do the problems on page 297. When you are finished, come show me your work.